Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Roll one up, let's catch this flight. Pour another cup, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Hey, this your boy Tight. Can't say the Tight without the 1205, know I'm talking about. But you tuning in with Ray Ray's podcast. Kicking my boy Ray, the toxic mommy Victoria, and my dog G-Ray. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Back again from the 18th floor. It's Ray Ray's podcast. You know what I'm saying? Blessed to have another day. Blessed to be back doing this again. Thank y'all for tuning in with us one more time. Ray Ray's podcast. Today is Tuesday, November 17th. Kind of forgot the day already.
Proverbs 17.
Today's Wednesday.
Oh shit, it's Wednesday. Tell you what I've been.
I've lost track of my days too.
They all run together. They're one day.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday the 17th, all right? You know, we're back again. So grateful. Today's going to be a very amazing episode. You already heard the dude's voice. That means Brandon, he's back in the building. He can't stay away from this place.
No, I'm never leaving. It's going to be Ray and BK's podcast. That's make a ring.
He's trying to be a part of us. So it's my show now. He said, "Fuck your couch."
No, I'm the third person.
He's the third person.
Hey,
man.
I love it. Honorary third.
Honorary
Third Ray.
Real quick, we gotta say thank you to Revolution Media. They just made a new intro video for our new videos. We just started uploading videos on YouTube. First interview we did was last week with Miss Maria. So if you haven't watched that video, go watch that on YouTube. It was amazing.
Maria Lagios.
Yeah, she dropped some knowledge on us.
XOXO. Empower the young women.
You know, shout out all of our sponsors. Shout out Shakertons, Sushi Marquee, Ebb and Flow, Shell Shack. Thank y'all for y'all contributions to Ray Ray's podcast. Go check out our new website. It's live now. www.rayrayspodcast.com. Simple, easy, go to it. Check out all of our videos, all of our episodes, a whole bunch of different contents on there. It's really cool. If you ever want to be a guest on the show, we have a thing on there where you can go fill out an inquiry form about being a guest on the show. You know, we'll read it.
Holika Monica Bernardino.
Yeah, we'll do a get back to you. I got to do a quick PSA real quick, all right? People, quit telling people your business. So yesterday I went to go grab some fast food, and the attendee, he he looked out the window, looked at the line. He was like, "Man, this line is long. I got 2 more hours." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna roll me a fat one, smoke me a bowl." I'm like, "Bro, I kind of want my food, bro. Like, don't tell me. Why are you telling me your business?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit the studio." I'm like, "Bro."
Wait, the guy working there said that?
Working at the drive-thru. I was like, "Bro, are you serious right now?"
Oh, like a Chick-fil-A? Like he was standing outside and he said that?
No, Chick-fil-A. It was not Chick-fil-A.
It was not Chick-fil-A.
Man,
It was not Chick-fil-A.
It might have been Whataburger. They're terrible.
I'm not gonna say the name of the place.
It was KFC, bro.
It was.
Hey, no racial. No racial.
Dude, I love KFC. Are you kidding me? I get that dark meat, bro.
Dude, that chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A.
It's a bomb.
Dude, how Popeyes used to be, let me put the camera on me. How Popeyes used to be, man, when they first came out, that's how it is. Man, it's that good.
Dude, I tell my daughters that McDonald's give you cancer, so you only eat it once in their entire life.
You know what?
But that McRib just came back out.
Yeah.
Boy,
no lie.
That McRib's crackers. But no, yeah, people, don't be telling strangers your business. If you're working at an establishment, do your job first. It's okay to be cordial, but like, I don't care about you wanting to go to the studio and try to smoke a blunt. Just give them a chicken so I get out my goddamn way. All right, man. We got a good show planned for you today. B, I want you to do the honors again.
All right, I'm gonna go in. This fellow that I'm introducing, I mean, almost gets me emotional because he's a hard nut to crack. But on the inside, after you crack that nut, no pun intended. I mean, I'm talking shell. Like, he's the most humble. He's the most driven. He's one of the most successful. He aspires me. As we're looking out from the 18th floor, I can see one of his spots, Sporting Club in Bloom. It's Rico Taylor. And Vice Park's going up right across the street. And we can see it from right here in the studio. And this guy has been, I've spent a lot of money in it back in the day at his spot at Clutch when it was off Cedar Springs. And never really talked to him. He was always cordial. He always treated everybody the same. And never judged anyone by color, race, religion, origin, whatever, right? And he's just a real dude. So me and him started getting tight the last few months. And he said something to me a couple months back that really touched me. And he said, B, you don't have to spend $1 in here. He told me that. That touched me so hard. That touched me so hard. That's respect. That is the antithesis of what every other club owner in Dallas, besides Maria Lagios, would say. I mean, he is real, came from nothing, just like me, struggled, trying to figure his way out. So it is such an honor to have Rico Taylor representing So Clutch. SoClutch.com?
So Clutch Group.
SoClutchGroup.com?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it is such an aspiration to me. And I'm 49 years old, and I look at this young blood, and I am inspired by him, just his presence and everyone that he works with. His staff loves him. You're only as strong as your weakest link, right? All right, you want me to wrap it up? All right, anyway.
That was the greatest.
Let me go.
That was
Let me go.
the greatest
Let me go.
intro
Let me continue.
ever.
That's like the
let's
greatest
stop it.
/ longest intro. It got a little rocky at first.
It's
I
like,
got it. Hey,
bro,
listen.
it's like when
Listen,
it's like
y'all
when,
shut up.
It's like when
Y'all shut up. Let me
grandma's
finish.
giving a prayer over the Thanksgiving food.
I think the
That's
podcast
why my
cut now,
pastor
right?
praying before. That's my pastor in K-Town praying before the meeting. Y'all shut up real quick.
I
I'm
love
not
it.
finished. I'm
No,
gonna
I love
finish in
it.
15 seconds.
Okay.
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 Rico, I'm looking in the eye. I respect you. You're one of the realest dudes I know. I want you to touch dudes and girls, women that are living on couches right now. That's what today's about, and where they can be. So it's an honor to have you and a privilege.
Let's give him a round of applause for coming on Ray Ray's podcast today. And give me a round of applause for that.
The greatest
For those
intro
words.
ever.
Hey, it's
Man.
it's sincere.
No, it is. It is. Man, we do appreciate you, Rico, for coming on.
And before we move
And they've
forward,
been trying to get Rico for a while.
yeah, man, this guy.
And then Rico,
all over the
Rico's
world.
birthday was last weekend, everybody. Happy birthday,
Happy
belated
birthday,
birthday to
Appreciate it.
Rico Taylor.
Appreciate it.
And
21.
then he went to Vegas and then balled out and then comes back to Dallas and then does this on 36 hours later?
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Hey, listen, I've been around the game forever. All right, I'll let y'all get to it. I've been around the game forever, too much.
Hey, before we
Hey, you shut up. Hey, listen, I've been...
They're about to not invite me.
Been around the game forever. Been around the game forever. He's a real one. Yeah. All right, y'all go. He's a real one.
before we move forward, we got to do our affirmations for all the people out there that's watching and listening today. So let's we got to speak these positive words into people. Be over here.
I'm here, bro.
I didn't think I was going to get a chance to talk today. Me.
I'm taking off.
All right, but let's
Ray and BK.
Let's speak these affirmations real quick. All right. So everyone out there that's going through something, just know that you're beautiful. You're loved, you're needed, you're alive for a reason, you're stronger than you think, you're going to get through this. Hey, we're glad you're alive, don't give up, man. So we just gotta speak those words. to
Amen.
people. You know, words mean everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get that in your spirit, get that in your mind. You are what you think you are. You are who you say you are. So you gotta say you're a
You
winner.
have to speak it.
You know, gotta speak it to it. All right. So
Don't
let
think
me
it,
stop
speak
before
it.
I start going long, like me over here.
All right, let's get into Rico.
So we get into it. We got Rico Taylor, man. He's the
Put
man
me on
around the
mute.
city. You say, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to here in a second. You know, man, yeah, but Rico, man, he's got all the hot spots here in Dallas. I'm pretty sure if you're in the Dallas Fort Worth, you've been to one of his spots.
Ray,
all right?
honestly, who you been asking me to bring on?
I
Who you been asking to bring on? Don't lie.
I've asked you to bring him. Okay,
Yes,
I'll give you.
him.
You got your props, bro.
No, I'm not asking about props. I'm like, hey, listen, it's a priority list. He was at the top.
Top of the food
Right.
chain, you know. Damn.
Did you say damn on that?
Yeah,
Do it
I just
again.
said
Do it again. Hit it.
Damn. All right, Rico, my man. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, man.
I think we get a chance to talk to you, bro. We here. We talking to you. That's my man B, though. That's, you know. You already know.
Yeah.
We know. All right. So, man, what's been going on with you, bro? Tell us what's up, man.
Man, just between work, had a birthday party, as Brandon stated here. Went to Austin for the Concrete Cowboy 7-year anniversary on Thursday. Came back here Friday. Had a big dinner with friends, some family up there, and then did Bloom after. Flew to Vegas Saturday morning. Did Vegas. Went to the Raiders-Chiefs game Sunday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, stadium's dope, man.
What a great day. What a great game, bro.
Yeah.
So
that's-
we got to ask you, who you think is gonna win? Cowboys Chiefs. Who you think is gonna win this game?
I'll ride Cowboys every day.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
they Dak
man,
Prescott,
oh man,
baby.
oh man.
That's my team of teams. I don't care about no other team, NBA, hockey, but the Cowboys, man, I'll sit there and watch that every second.
I mean, I would hope so because you have a restaurant at the Star. So I
Right,
mean,
right.
you kind of
Right.
Hey, which is lit, by the way.
That,
Which is
are,
lit.
are you able just to list off the businesses that you have, restaurants, and let the people know?
All right, so the cities we're in is Austin, Dallas, Chicago, Frisco, Fort Worth. We were in Houston. We recently kind of separated the company with one of my partners. He took over Houston. I took over Austin, Chicago, Fort Worth, Frisco. I think that's all of them. But yeah, we have Concrete Cowboy, which is the original. Cedar Springs started there 10 years ago. Then we have Clutch Dallas. Then we've opened up Concrete Cowboy Frisco, Concrete Cowboy Fort Worth, Concrete Cowboy Chicago, Clutch Chicago, and now we have Bloom Sporting Club, which is our newest ones, with 4.5 months old right now. And then across the street from Bloom Sporting Club, we're opening up a new venue called Vice Park. So
Okay.
Vice Park is kind of it's been my baby for a while. It's been 3 years in the works. I've had some issues with the city as far as permitting and all this ton of obstacles, and we finally got through that. So it's going now full speed. We're looking to open in 2022, hopefully March, April, and we're just excited for that. And then I'm doing another concept in Austin called the Betty.
Okay.
And it's right down the street from Concrete Cowboy Austin there. Teamed up with a guy named Kyle Kinzel, little local out there, done a lot of business and stuff like that. So he approached us on a deal, and we're moving forward with that.
Nice.
Hey, let me tell you, I was at Formula One at the racetrack with Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel and all the guys, right? So I shoot Rico a text one night when we're at a speakeasy in Austin, which was dope. I can't remember the name. Parham. Shout outs. It's a beautiful It's a beautiful speakeasy, man. It's my favorite. And then I text Rico and I go, Rico, hey, I need a table at Concrete. You remember?
I remember.
And he goes, bro, it's Formula One weekend, which is a big in Latin America. All you Latinos, it's football, which is soccer, and Formula One.
Yeah, it's Austin Super
And
Bowl.
Canelo. All right, because that's all y'all got. Because y'all, the U.S. beat your ass twice in a row. Okay? All right, so y'all have Canelo.
You got a Latino over there looking at you crazy, about to
Formula
stab
One
you in
right
a
now.
second, bro.
Hey,
You
but
better calm
listen,
down.
Rico was like, dude, I go, bro, get me a table at Concrete. I didn't know y'all had one here. Remember that? I go, I didn't even know you had one here. And dude came through, and it was amazing. It was lit.
All right. So we got this quick little segment we like to do. It's called
Slow down, I just wanna get to know you.
Slow Down. We just want to get to know you. This is where we ask you some quick questions off the top of the dome. We don't know where we're going to go, but we're going to go there, all right? So, again, You know, Rico Taylor, you know, owner of a bunch of different establishments. Okay, quick question for you: what makes you feel like your best self?
Man, myself is just honestly when I'm at work. You know, I feel that's when I'm the most ease. I'm most comfortable. I'm around the people I want to be, whether it's staff, customers. It's just when I'm at work, I feel at the most peace I am than any other place. To be honest with you.
Rico, your best self is elevating others.
Hey,
That's your best self.
So, what was it that you know that in your mind struck it in your head? Okay, I want to take this thing to the next level. I want to be the best. I want to be at the top of the food chain. You know, what was it that drove you to that?
you know, since I was young, I've always had high expectations. I always wanted to be the best at it, whether it was basketball, football, whatever it was. And just started in the bar business at 20 years old, started at a door. You know, the first night I worked the door, I've never seen $1,000 in my life. This guy comes up, hey man, I got a group of people, hands me a wad of cash. I put it in my pocket. I let these guys in, right? You know what I mean? Not breaking no rules. The dude just came up and
Yeah,
showed love
yeah,
at the
yeah.
door, right?
He's a
Hey,
doorman.
where
over
was
there.
that, Rico?
Yeah.
Rico, where was that?
It was called CB&C in Phoenix, Arizona. So get him in there, you know, cool dude. Night ends. I go home, pull this money out of my pocket. I lay it on my broken ass futon, you know. I count it's $1,000. I'm like, I've never seen $1,000 at one time in my life. I'm like, all right, there's something to this business. If I'm the door guy and I just got handed a rack, like, what's the bartender making? What's the manager making? And what's the owner making, right?
Yeah.
So from that point right there, it kind of stuck to me. It's like, there's something to this business, and I got to figure it out. And I went from there, and it kind of just, I always reference that story because it sticks out the most, because that was like my first time of seeing a lump sum of money like that. And at the position I was, I just knew there was more if I continued to grow in it.
Okay. So, where are you from originally?
I was born and raised in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So small little town in northern New Mexico.
All right, so hey, Rico. So you're Rico Taylor.
So my real name is
You were raised by your grandparents.
right. Well,
So who are your parents biologically?
all right. So I had a mother and father, like everyone else.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I had a very short relationship with my father. Both my parents were drug addicts. So my father passed away when I was 6.5 from a heroin overdose. So I didn't really know him. He was in and out of my life. I kind of remember a little bit about him, stuff like that, but never had that father relationship with him. I lived with my mom for a while, to about in and out of the projects, house to house, kind of figuring her way, because she also had addiction, alcohol, drugs. She'd go to jail. My grandparents would pick me up. Different scenarios. She'd leave me at home. I'd have to call grandparents to pick me up, stuff like that. So eventually, when I was in the 3rd grade, my grandparents just took me in full time, which, I look back on that situation and it really, really saved my life, because the environment I was around during those times at a younger stage, like it could have, if I would have stayed in those, who knows what would have happened,
Hey, my wife does CASA for kids that are like abused and live in other homes, right? Foster homes, basically. You have no excuse after listening to this interview. If this kid can make it into a man, you have no excuses. Soak that in.
So, what advice would you give someone that's kind of growing up in that situation where their parents, struggled and, going from parents to grandparents' house? What would you tell to a kid at that age? Or if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would you tell it?
So for me, I was a knucklehead younger. I got in a lot of fights. Like I had a lot of emotional stuff going on. Now that I look back and kind of diagnose it at a far, and the main thing that saved me is I never got involved in drugs and alcohol at a young age, right? You know what I mean? I did the typical kid stuff where I'd get in fights. I didn't always do good at school, stuff like that. But I always stayed away from the bad vices. And I think because I saw what happened to my parents and saw what that environment is. And I always, even at a young age, I knew like that's not what I want in life. You know what I mean? I don't want to live like that. I don't want to see my mom go through that. I don't want to put anyone through that. So you just gotta stay away from the bad stuff as much as possible. Especially in the streets, man. It's pulling at you everywhere, right? Yeah. It's cliche. Everyone knows it, sees movies, whatever. But that's real life for people. And until you realize that there is something out of that life and there's more, Like you just gotta focus on those positives and know that there's more than that, and that there's ways to get away from that. That's what kills me when people say, "Oh, I hate the U.S." Blah blah blah. I'm like, this is the only place where you could be me and come out of that into something better. You know, you live in other countries, you will never have that opportunity here. So
It's like, you know, you born poor in other places, you're gonna stay poor.
you're staying poor, man.
You're staying poor.
Rico,
Yeah.
I love you more.
You know, so
That's respect.
yeah, you just always gotta stay positive. You gotta work hard, man. You gotta stay smart. You gotta stay clean, and good things will happen.
Yeah. So, you said you started at the door. You said it was in New Mexico? You started?
No, in Arizona.
I'm sorry, Arizona. I'm sorry, Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix,
Oh,
Arizona, right?
So the guy got you, gave you $1,000 at the door. You was like, wow, that's a lot of money. So after that happened, what was your next steps? What was your process after that? Like, how can I get more?
So I worked the door probably for about a year. At that point, I was dating one of the bartenders there. You know,
You were smashing it.
I was definitely smashing it. But yeah, so
RT style, though.
So I started dating one of the bartenders there. You know, cute, smart girl, and I was like, I want to learn to bartend, right? That's the next step. You know, that's the next step in the business. So we would sit outside at the pool, floating around. I didn't drink. I didn't sip liquor, nothing at that point in my life. And she'd be, how do you make a kamikaze? How do you make a Long Island iced tea? So I learned all these drinks while we're sitting at the pool, right? So in my mind, I have all these drinks there. And one night, the manager says, "Hey, we're short a bartender. Does anyone know how to bartend?" I'm like, "Oh, I do." Full of shit, right? I never bartended in my life. But you know,
Was this a fast place?
I was busy.
Busy.
It
Oh,
was
God.
busy, man. High volume.
volume.
It was an urban club.
Okay.
So we'd have,
A lot of Hennessy.
A lot of Hennessy, Hypnotic,
Incredible
Incredible Hulk,
Incredible Hawks, bro. A lot of Incredible Hawks, a lot of Long Island, a lot of
Henny on the apple juice.
adios motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had all these drinks under my belt. So I go there. I say I could do it. I get behind there. I end up ringing. I end up being the number one ring that night.
Oh wow.
So you know, I'm working as hard as I can, man. I'm like, I'm gonna show this.
No
Yeah.
surprise.
Right. So they're impressed, right? Oh man, we didn't know you could do this, whatever. So they put me in a permanent position as bartender there.
Okay.
From that point, I learned to bartend, this and that.
And this is still in Phoenix.
It's still in Phoenix.
Okay.
So
You're already in Scottsdale, bro.
I'm not in Scottsdale yet. I couldn't get a job in Scottsdale. So I moved to Scottsdale. I went to ASU. I moved to Tempe. I could not get. I would apply in Scottsdale and
And
no
by
one
the
would
way,
give me a job.
Rico's big as hell.
So
he was
yeah.
the same thing.
Here's this Hispanic kid with tattoos. We're like, we can't hire this guy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Scottsdale. Yeah.
They didn't want nothing to do with me. They wouldn't let me in the club. They wouldn't let me work in the club when I went there. So I had to figure out another route. So I go work at this club, you know. And then one night, you know, there's this VIP host. He got caught stealing money, right? But he was making money because he got percentage on every bottle. And, you know, Urban Club, bottles, you know, Ace, Dom.
Yeah.
People out there just
Yeah.
going crazy. And, you know, at this place, it was like Allen Iverson would come into town. He would go there. So it was like anyone who was anyone would go there.
One of the goats.
Yeah, one of the best. But so I'm like, yeah, hey, I could do that. So I start VIP hosting. I start making money because I'm making money off all the bottles, and I'm hustling, right? I'm selling bottles left and right, doing this, and you know, so I become the VIP host, start making crazy money. One day, we're at the doors, probably around 12:30. I notice a couple guys walking a car, and I see a car back out, and they're arguing at the window. I heard pop, pop, pop. I'm like, oh shit. Murder. They shot a guy at the head and right at our front door. So
God.
what happens to the club then?
Shut down.
Done.
Yeah, it's done.
Done.
Yeah.
So it's started all over for me, right? I'm like, God damn it, it's done. So I start working at a place called the Valley Ho, which was a hotel that just opened there and had a lobby bar. So I start working there, bartending, you know, doing well, super, you know, content. The hot spot in the city was called Pussycat Lounge. Like, that was the spot. They had 5 bartenders. They're open 4 nights a week, busy every night. You know, if anyone who was anyone in that town, you know, went there. It was like the spot. So, the girl I was dating, the bartender at the club, we still kind of dated, right?
Yeah.
We broke up, whatever. And somehow I heard she started dating the GM there, right? And I would see him at the gym, and he kind of like looked at me weird sometimes. So it was like there was like some weird
Tension.
blood, right?
Yeah.
So one day I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to him. Like, and I walk up to him and say, hey man, I'm Rico. I hear you're dating so and so. Just so you know, like, there's no beef. Like, I'm good with that. Like, I don't want it to be weird between you. We see each other at the gym. You know, I'm not mad. Like, whatever. We're good. So, oh, really, man? Hey, I appreciate that. Like kind of shakes my hand, whatever. We switch info. Like a month later, he texts me. He's, hey, man, if you get a chance, will you stop by the club? I just want to say what up to you, something like that. I'm like, yeah, I could go by there. Tell me when you're gonna be there. He says, Thursday, come by around 9 o'clock. I'm like, that's a little early. He's like, just come talk to me. So I go up there. He offers me a job.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, I'm about to get rid of a bartender. Would you be interested? I like you. The way that everything went down with you and stuff like that, like show respect. And I want you to, anyone in that state would want that job I'm walking into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then, at that place, in between 4 nights, you're making $2,500 in tips, which was unheard of. Then.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, yeah. So I go there, not knowing what's going on. I walk in. He's like, hey, I want to offer you a bartending job here. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm about to get rid of someone. Would you want to start like next week? I'm like, I'll start right now. Get whatever you need, bro. So little by little, I start bartending there. I become a bar manager after a few months. We open up another club. He goes and works over there, so I end up becoming GM. It rolls from that to another company, which is my partner now, owned at the time. They offered me a position as a manager, saying on future ones that we open.
Rico?
It was the place called Jackrabbit
Okay.
in Scottsdale, Arizona. With the guarantee, our next project, you'll get ownership. You'll become GM, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take your word on it, this and that. I worked there for about 6 months. They come to me, they say, hey, we have a project in Dallas, Texas. We want to open it up there. Would you be willing to move there and open it with us? I've never been to Dallas in my life. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So, they're like, all right, we're going out there. We move out there New Year's Day. So we do New Year's Eve.
What year?
This was
10 years ago?
January this year would be 11 years.
Okay.
So what's the math on that?
2010.
10.
2010?
So was it before or after the Mavericks won the
No,
championship?
it was. So I moved here and then the Mavericks won.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
2011.
So all right. So we go over here. I move out to Dallas, not knowing a single person, not one person. Moved to Uptown, live at the Gables there on McKinney Avenue. There's 3 owners. Or 2 owners. Me, the 2 other owners, and one of their dogs in a 2-bedroom apartment there. I didn't bring it.
Hey, Jonathan's my boy.
Yeah. So Jonathan Vowles is one of them. Jonathan Vowles is my partner currently with the company.
Hey,
So
he's a good ass guy.
great guy, smart,
great guy.
honest. You could have asked for a better partner.
Yeah.
Does a lot of
Hey,
back.
listen, like all these other club owners have this plethora of ownerships. Rico, how many you have?
We have 2, me and Jonathan, and then we have anywhere from depending on the venue, 3 to 5.
Listen, you keep your circle small.
Yep.
Beer stays cold.
So we moved to Dallas. We take over a place called Lift. I don't know if you guys are familiar
Yeah, I
with
remember
that.
Yeah, I
Lift.
remember
Yep.
It was Medici before, I believe, above Colvines.
Yep.
Okay, so we take it over. We run Lift through All-Star Weekend because the All-Star game was here that year.
Yeah, I remember doing those events, man.
Yeah.
That was
And
crazy.
it snowed.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brad
Yep.
Boy.
Isn't
Brad Boy. Hey, Brad Boy, shout out now. He owns that place now.
Wasn't it crazy? Like, for us being in the industry, we had 2 World Series, we had Super Bowl and All Star with all like 2 years,
It was crazy,
and it snowed both years.
bro.
Craziest thing, right?
For the Super Bowl was the worst. Remember that?
Oh.
And then,
Bro,
and
I
then
sold my tickets. I had 8 tickets to the Cowboys on the 40-yard line, 2 rows back.
I wish the Cowboys
At
were the
8,
Super Bowl. bro.
listen,
I kind of do and I kind of don't. I kind of do.
Listen,
I always say I don't want to be.
Hey, Ray, be quiet. Real quick. All right?
This is a Ray Ray show.
Hey, no, it's a Ray Ray. and BK show, bro. It's a Ray Ray and BK. I had tickets, and we beat the Giants that year, Monday Night Football, first game of the year, and then lost every game after that because of Tony Romo.
Okay.
All right, we're not going to go there.
Okay,
We're
listen.
not going there.
But however, Super Bowl, I refuse to sell my tickets to anybody but Steelers fans. No.
Green Bay.
Packers fans.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Green Bay versus
Packers
Steelers.
fans. So I met a great Packer fan who paid me very well. I took him out to dinner, him and his wife. All right, I'll let you go.
All right.
Okay, let's
get back to Rico.
real quick. But isn't that crazy how relationships work and universal alignment works? if you want to date that girl and that girl want to date it, you got with that guy,
Yeah.
and then I can guarantee you that ex of yours vouched for you
Right.
for that. So that's just so crazy how universal alignment works.
Right.
Like in that relationship. But
It's
anyways,
God alignment.
yeah, I just wanted to.
You're right, man. That's why you don't ever want to leave a relationship in bad standings, right? I guess that's without me even thinking, and I never even thought about that. And that's why any relationship, whether it's a girl or a guy, it's not always going to work out, but there's no reason for it to end bad, right? So,
Right.
so no one's saying bad about each
Yeah,
other.
exactly.
Right. Danny Lay and the baby could take some notes. But anyways,
So we're moving right along from
moving
that.
right
subject.
along.
Yeah.
Bro, okay,
All right.
so you moved to Dallas. Oh, yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, we got to Dallas here. You said this was around 2010. All right. Y'all took over Lyft. You know, what happened after that?
So after All-Star Weekend, we shut Lyft down. We're rebranding. We're doing our own concept, right? We're doing a concept called Teddy's Room. So Teddy's Room was it was not my concept, first of all. My partners, that was their idea, that was their concept, that was their thing. I ran it. It was a burlesque show, nightclub. So we have this.
Never worked
It worked. It worked.
for a bit.
It worked till the lease ended. It worked. So with that said, we opened up Teddy's Room. Did very, very successful. Although Brandon, I think so, but did very well, and it gives the opportunity to get the lease for Concrete Cowboy. Concrete Cowboy Dallas, before it was Concrete Dallas, was the Penguin Bar, which is a dueling piano bar that never worked. So we kind of had our eye on this building.
Look, I had the Brady. I had a penthouse at the Brady. I had 2 neighbors, 4 years. I used to look down on Cedar Springs and see, like, I would base my decision based on me seeing the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So Rico, like, I would roll in there, bro. I swear to God, like, people that are listening, like, I'd buy a bottle of Dom and walk out and give it to my homies
Yeah.
and just say, hey, this is it.
So from watching the Penguin, you kind of sense it's not doing well, right? So we go in there, kind of talk to the guys. Hey, man, we're willing to buy this. We're willing to buy you out, take over this venue, this spot. We think it's great, this and that. First, they're like, some stupid number, right? $2 million, right? I don't know if it's worth that, but we'll come back in a couple weeks. After doing this 3 or 4 times, the guys agreed to some terms that we agreed to as well. We took it over, we gutted it, and we came up with a concept called Concrete Cowboy. The way we came up with this concept was, in Dallas, there wasn't like a hybrid. When I say hybrid, they're in a place where you go watch a game, buy drinks, do happy hour, and go into a nightclub. They didn't have that here. You know what I mean? Everything here was ton of pubs.
Oh, yeah.
That's
all what Uptown was. When I
Pubs,
first started going
man.
uptown.
Right.
And there was a crazy surge of hookah lounges too at that time.
Really?
I remember.
No, bro, all brothers love hookah.
So
That's why Rico has never.
Oh,
Never done over.
We're going to meet. B. We got to go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rico. Go ahead.
So we come up with the concept, high energy, hybrid.
This guy.
But and so we open up and it takes off like wildfire, man. Like the second we opened up, there's people out waiting. I'm doing numbers that I've never seen before. That's unheard of for me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, holy cow. Texas OU was the second weekend we opened, and in one day we did that day alone we did 67,000, which for our company was unheard of at that point. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And from there, the business is built, just built and built and built and built. And, we were like, this is the brand. This is what we got to keep going with. At that point, we signed a lease in Austin, did a Concrete Cowboy there, took off like wildfire.
Which is dope.
By
the way, because I went there on Formula 1. It's dope.
All right.
And then, so being a Concrete Cowboy, once again, kind of same situation that happened with the Penguin Bar, I'm noticing a place called Prime Bar.
Yeah, I remember Prime Bar. Yeah.
Not that busy, right?
Yeah.
So what's going through my mind? That, hey, this place has a patio, full kitchen. I could do something with this. So we go to the guys again. Hey, we're next door. Are you interested in, selling this? Kind of do a deal. Nah. Some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
So you wait a couple more months. Eventually they came up with terms that they want to sell it for, because you can only lose money for so much long.
Yeah.
You got to get that ROI. We go to them, we buy them out, make a deal with the landlord, have the lease, everything goes well. We're like, what do we put here now? So we came up with the concept called Clutch. Clutch was going to be basically Concrete Cowboy with a kitchen and some different furniture.
Dude, Clutch back in the day was my freaking favorite.
Clutch was a monster, man. So
It was a monster.
hybrid restaurant, nightclub,
Not
sports bar.
Concrete Cowboy. Clutch.
Yeah. And, we opened up Clutch. And before I opened up Clutch, I was like, you're crazy. You're going to hurt Concrete Cowboy. It's going to go down. This and that. I'm like, I don't think so. I think the more I could build here, the more people are going to come, right? I'm going to centerize it. And then I'm going to have people hopping around instead of going here for a little bit and then going to somewhere else and spending money. People are like, you're out of your mind. It ain't going to work. Before you know it, our lines are touching, right?
Hey, Rico, can I interject real quick?
Always.
Well, you already done that, so I mean, let's go ahead, bro.
Stop,
I'm
right?
joking.
Hey, right? Listen, all right, all my club owners that had clubs after Rico said that will never work. And I was like, you know what, man? They treat me better there than you ever will. And I was like, at that point, I was like, there is room. There is a wiggle space for entrepreneurs to come in. And so everybody that's listening to this, there is a wiggle space. Don't be discounted by what people say. Rico proved it wrong by opening Clutch. In Clutch, I spent so much money in freaking Clutch. It was ridiculous.
You know what I could see? I could see you, Rico, doing a show like John Taffer. They have bar rescue.
Hey,
We do a
that's
club
what-
rescue.
that's what it looks like, right?
We do a
listen,
club
listen.
rescue.
He's John, Barzarian or what?
Oh, I ain't that Bazarian. Nah. Hell no. I want to be that guy.
Yeah. All right. So we
No.
got Clutch.
Yep.
It's got the kitchen. You said it's just basically a different version of concrete. So after that, what happened?
So you see, Clutch blows up. Everyone knows, doing numbers. Not only that, Concrete Cowboys numbers go up.
Yeah.
So they're feeding each other, right? So, we're super excited. We're like, we got to grow. We got to keep on. So then we go to Houston. We open up Concrete Cowboy Houston. We open up Clutch Houston. Then a good friend of mine worked out in Chicago. I go to visit him one day, and
Best food ever.
Chicago's great city. So I go visit him. He's like, I need to show you something. So he walks me a little bit down the street, down the block. We take a left, we take a right, and there's this shiny building on the corner. He's like, this is available. I said, what? How's this available in downtown Chicago? It was already a restaurant space, so you have all the intangibles, stuff like that you need. So he's like, I want to do something with you. Would you? At this point, he was working for another company, a competing company. I want to do something with you out here. Is this something you'd be willing to do? I'm like, shit, you're in Chicago already. You know the people. You know the city. You found the venue. Yeah, let's do it. So I get the number, write down the number. I call my business partner. I'm like, hey, I'm in Chicago. I want you to call a broker and start doing the homework on this. Sure enough, it's still available off the market. So we take it. We built Concrete Cowboy Chicago. Had a 5 a.m. one of 20 5 a.m. license in the city, meaning you could be open till 5 a.m. when everyone else has to close at 1:30. Open it up. Kind of rough start in the beginning, So we adjust before it's killing it. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I have Dallas killing it, I have Chicago killing it, I have Austin killing it, I have Houston killing it. So I'm on this high. We got to keep going. So I'm flying back from Chicago, and there's a Southwest magazine, right? You remember those magazines that they're selling earphones and before COVID, you were able to touch stuff. Mm-hmm. So I pick up this magazine. I'm kind of reading through it, and I see the Star. I'm like, the Star? What the hell's the Star? Mm-hmm. So I'm going through, and they're like, yeah, Jerry Jones, the Cowboys are building a practice facility, team headquarters in Frisco. I'm like, what's Frisco? I was like, ain't that in California? I didn't even know where Frisco was at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So I start reading the article, this and that. I'm getting more info. I'm like, dude, I want to open up something at the Star. I want to get, I feel like there's something to this. Mm-hmm. So my good friend, his name is Shy Anderson, and at the time he was married to Charlotte Jones.
Wait,
so
Shy's my boy.
yes, that's my brother.
Wait, Shy's in on everything?
No, just with the star. So so I met him at the gym, working out at Equinox. We became friends, stuff like that. So I reached out to him. Hey, I got a question to you about this star project. He's like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, man, I want to do something up there. He's like, yeah, hey, I think you should. It's a big project. This is how much money they're putting. This and that. This is what it is. So I get kind of like the inside scoop on what the star is, right? So I'm like, I want to do a venue there. I have my broker reach out. I'm meeting with Shy, even talking to Charlotte a little bit about it. At that point, they kind of bring the plans, say, hey, which venue do you think would be the best one? Which spot? And so I'm like, that one. At the time, I think there was another bar that had a lease on it, or was going through like close to signing a lease on it. Things didn't work out. It fell through,
Yeah.
like crazy, right? So they hit us up. Hey, that's available. We're like, we'll take it. Sign the lease. Everyone's telling me crazy. You can't do a concrete Cowboy in Frisco. You can't this. You can't that. People don't party up there. So I'm like, dang, people don't think this. So, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna make this work.
Yeah.
I kind of have the, we're doing a kitchen for the first time in Concrete Cowboy. So I'm coming up with a menu that's gonna work for, a suburb. Open up Concrete Cowboy Frisco, kills it. Becomes spot up there. Everything and more that I imagined for it, it has become. And to this day, man, it's been super killer vibe. I want to do more in Frisco. I love the
fried macaroni, by the way.
Oh yeah,
That's my shit.
the square macaroni
Yeah,
fry.
yeah.
So just did that, and then Fort Worth, and now we're back in Dallas trying to reclaim what we left when Clutch and Concrete were on Cedar Springs.
Yeah. So in a span of being in Dallas 11 years, so that's a total of how many concepts and restaurants you've opened?
I think at the peak of everything, there's 15 concepts.
15 concepts within a 11 year. That's amazing. That's kind of unheard of,
Right.
unless you're like a franchise or something like that. And for you to be someone, kind of your own boss, that says a lot. If I'm correct, up there at the start, were they doing 10 or 20-year leases? I can't remember up there.
10-year with 2.5 options.
Yeah, because I got some buddies. They own the Sushi Marquee.
Yeah, Mike Robb.
That's my boy, Mike Robb.
Shout out Mike Robb.
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah, Mike Robb and a bunch of those other cats. We always go to your Concrete Frisco.
Yeah.
I can't tell my stories, but anyways, we're always at your spot.
Right.
But man, that's really amazing because especially in this industry in Dallas, places don't last long.
Right.
And the fact that you've had this longevity for this long in Dallas, like that's
Right.
hats off to you because you can't do that. All right. So, say for instance, there's another young Rico Taylor out there, or even if you have someone that's working for you, as you have people come to you like, "Hey, boss, how can I learn to be where you're at right now?"
Right.
What do you tell them?
So for me, it's hard for me to pinpoint at what point in my life like I saw the light, right? But kind of, I'll go back on the story. I remember, like as a young guy, I would always like, oh man, I have no luck. My parents sucked. They did this, they did that, and I had this chip on my shoulder, right? And one day I saw this show. It was called The Secret. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Oh yeah,
right?
we talked about that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, right? Because
Right, turn me back on.
You good?
You're on.
You're on. B.
You're on.
Hey,
So-
on. Hey, listen, I watched Secret because of my wife, and I didn't want to.
No, that's good.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
so
Oh yeah.
So I put it on, right? I'm like, what is this crap? I watch it, bro, and it literally changed my mind on life, like to the positivity, like how your mind is so powerful, and if you put positivity out there, it's gonna come back tenfold. And I kind of look at that point and kind of see a change, right? That something changed in me, something changed in my life, and
Rico, what was the scene?
what was it? What?
The scene.
I don't know the scene as much as what the story was, right? The whole story was basically you got to visualize what you want to do and how you want to do it. You got to visualize the cars you want. You got to visualize the house you want. You got to visualize the
Hey,
career you
why
want.
I tell you all about the car?
Yeah.
So I look at that. So if someone young comes, I'm like, man, I can't give you a script, but start with being positive, being honest, being hardworking, and just go with that and base it off of 5-year increments. Like Don't say in 2 months I want to have this, in 3 months, bro. Do it off of 5-year increments, because that's when you can really gauge real success or real moves. Is a 5-year increments, in my opinion.
Yeah. So everyone that's listening to this interview, what do you want them to take away from this interview?
Just, man, at the end of the day, just figure out what you want to do and dig into it and work your ass off. Like, live it, man. Live it. Be in it. Do it. Give it your all, because if you don't, there's too much competition out here. Someone else is giving. You see all these memes and stuff, and you see people posting them, and sometimes I'm like, you post these memes 4 or 5 times a day, but are you living these memes? You know what I mean? Or you just put it out there for people to think you are, right? Is it just like, it's not about what people think. It's like, you got to do it, and sometimes you got to work in silence. I get if you post that stuff or you say this stuff, it could help, but you need to look at yourself and really dig in and do what you got to do to get to where you want to be. Nice, man. We gotta have you come back. You gotta come back again, and we gotta dive a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? We only had so much time today, but hey, you dropped a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom, and like I said, I respect you the hell out of you, man. I love all of your establishments. I've never had a bad time once at any of your places. Like I said, we frequent Concrete Frisco. I appreciate that, man.
A lot. That's probably have to go up there and watch the Cowboys beat the Chiefs this week.
I need a 10-top.
This guy up here.
I got you.
This guy.
Hey, this dude texts Rico on social media.
Yeah.
On Instagram, and I'm like, Pete Fuller, who's my boy. Shout out to Pete Fuller. He's like, I need a table for 10 at 10 p.m. on Saturday at Concrete in Frisco, and I'm like, all right, bro, I'll get to you. For the sake of Rico, don't let me forget that.
I won't.
All right. So, what I'm saying, we definitely look for you, to come back on the show again, you know what I'm saying? So, any big events you got coming up right now?
Yeah, so obviously this weekend we have Cash Thursday night, big DJ, EDM. We have Nico and Sway Friday night, another EDM artist. We have the Porter Crawford fight Saturday night. I'm sure everyone knows about that. Boxing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Boxing's making a comeback, I feel like, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I hate to say it, we got to thank the Paul brothers.
Right?
I hate to say it, but
right?
they've kind of made...
Yeah, man, those Paul brothers are monsters, man. Yeah. People throw shade their way. It's like you can't throw shade their way, man. They're monsters, bro.
It feeds them, man. It feeds it They feed off.
He's wanting to fight Mike Tyson, bro.
I mean, what do you?
Jake Paul is wanting to.
He knows the money that's going to bring.
McGregor.
He will get knocked out.
Yeah.
But you know
He's
what?
thinking about the
He'll
dollar
make
signs.
30 mil off getting knocked out. Who cares?
Yeah, he's thinking about dollar signs. That's all he's thinking about.
Those guys are business monsters, man.
Yeah.
The respect, what they're doing. Is it cheesy?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But making 30, 40, 50 million in 8 rounds, hey, I'll take that all day,
Yeah.
man. I'll eat that cheese.
Yeah. They took the Floyd Mayweather route.
Yeah.
He made boxing.
No.
The business.
Dude wants to go from Floyd Mayweather to fight Mike Tyson.
Hey.
Are you serious?
I heard it's McGregor in the works with him.
Yeah.
No.
That would be the biggest. That would be the
biggest draw.
pay-per-view of all
ever.
time. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah. So we look forward to it. I mean, if you have that at your spot, we're there,
Right.
watching it. Man, like I said again, thank you so much. I know you're a busy man. Thank you for making the time out to come, and come rock with us. B, thank you for being B. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm not going.
It's
Ray and BK.
All right, I'll let you think of that. I'll let you keep thinking of that. All right? So we're going to wrap this up, boys. It's your boy, Ray.
And Ray.
It's been another edition of Ray Ray's podcast, 18th floor. Let's go.
Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting